And we're live.
Hello.
Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the Dominique Magazine channel.
Yes.
We are launching our new series, NiqueTalks. And NiqueTalks is our own version of TED Talks. I don't know who the hell Ted is, and I don't want to name anything after Ted. The only Ted I know is Sheriff Ted Jackson, the sheriff of Fulton County. And he's told me if I named anything after him, he's going to sue me. So we'll just leave that alone. So here we are. This, as I told you before, we're all about men's empowerment around here. We talk about how the ladies get all their stuff. And so what I have done is I have infiltrated the women's network and pulled some of them over here to give you guys some of this advice that you peek over the side of the window for. And now you can get that direct now without having to peek through the peephole.
Okay.
Here we have Danielle Mitchell of AverageBlackGirl.com.
Hello.
I met Danielle Mitchell about 3 years ago in the Facebook group, Black Owned Businesses. We networked at the time. She was in Atlanta. We couldn't connect at the time because life had us in 8 different directions.
Right.
She's now in Chicago. She did not bring me a deep dish pizza.
I didn't. Next time.
But I did take her out for pizza. Though.
Yes. Mellow mushrooms.
Mellow mushrooms around the corner over there on Ivan Avenue here in downtown Atlanta by the office. They got gluten-free pizza. For those of you all who know I'm on the gluten-free journey because of allergies, we're going to be doing some couple of things with that. But one thing about NiqueTalks is we're here to empower you. We're here to, and with this being National Self-Improvement Month, which I found out through my marketing calendar, I figured this would be a great month to start. And this is also Prostate Cancer Awareness Month too. So for those who have issues, like for men, especially Black men, if you're over the age of 35, please get your prostate exam checked. You can get that done when you go see your PCP, which is your primary care physician. And there's plenty of events going on in your local cities where you can find out where these events are taking place at. So if you're a non-Black man and you're over the age of 40, that's when you have to start checking it out. So brothers, 35 and up. So yes, you just turned 35, you're 36, you got to get that checked. And what they do, I've had mine checked this year. And because the way I answered the questions, I did not qualify for the checkup. So they're going to ask you those questions. If you got qualified based off the questions, it's basically about lifestyle, about your diet, about do you smoke and all that type of stuff. Then you'll be eligible to go ahead and get that. So they're trying to start to monitor us as Black men 5 years early. Because historically, Black men, we don't go to the doctor. And that's something we want to start changing. That's why, if you notice, we're always 5-10 years earlier before other men just because of our health disparities. So it's National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I did not wear blue today. I know I started with my blue sandals, but I got on the black ones. So nonetheless, the wall's kind of blue and the sky's blue out there. So, but anywho, let's talk about self-improvement. And that's something that we're real big on around here because self-improvement helps you get to the quality of life that you want to get with your life.
Yes.
And one of the things that I love, the Average Black Girl, we're going to start blogging over there on her website. We'll kind of tailor some of our content for the women. So the guys, the stuff that you guys been getting for the past 2 years, the ladies about to get it repackaged for them. So let's think about life for a minute. When we say self-improvement, self-improvement can mean finances, your career, your health, love life. And how are you going to improve? And my question, I'll start off with Danielle. What are some things that you would recommend for self-improvement? I'm telling the guys that, by the way, get you a notebook, get you some paper. So for those who are like, we're about to drop some gems. So for those of you who are catching this live, because we did not announce it's going to be live, you are in luck. For all 2 of you all who subscribe to this channel, which I am one of them, I don't know who the other person is. But, you know, she got 10,000 subscribers. I got my measly 2. But anywho, out my fellas. Now, get your pads, get some pencils, or if you're digital, you can write, just open up a Google Doc, a Word Doc, crayon, or what have you. We're about to give you some jewels and some nuggets. Self-improvement. So first thing I'll tell any man when it comes to self-improvement, we got to talk about your income and your income abilities. Because in society, these are their rules, not mine. So for y'all get mad at me, call me all sorts of names that y'all love calling me, and I'm used to it. Men are judged heavily on their income ability and their status in life. That is a fact of life. I'm sitting here with an attractive woman by the name of Danielle Mitchell who will tell you that's the case. Isn't that true, Danielle?
Yeah.
So just like as Obsidian said on his channel one time, he said, fellas, if you want to know your value in life, pull up your bank account, look at your wallet, look at the balance of your credit cards. On the flip side, he said, for women, you want to know your status, look at yourself naked.
Mm.
So that's the whole thing you have to think about.
Right.
So let's talk about finances.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of studies out here that point out that the average American cannot meet a $500 emergency within a week. And that number, and we talked about that in the website, I forgot the number. And now there's another survey, there's a lot of staggering data out there. Y'all know I love data. About the average person that have $1,000 in savings. And the average millennial, particularly the Black millennial, is ill prepared for retirement. They're not saving any money. Now, this is a good time to think about that. That's why I tell people, you know, get you a credit card. It can be a secured credit card. It can be a little $200-$300 credit card. Put your bill that you will pay on that credit card. So that way you're building up credit and pay it. So you know you're going to pay that cell phone bill. You know you're going to pay your light bill. A bill that you normally pay, put that on the card. Once the bill comes, pay it off. And what I do, I pay it off in a couple of days. So that's the way you have to start building your credit. So where that way you can have OPM, which is access to other people's money. Because that's what you need when you're trying to have access to things. So for those of you who are married, for those of you who are single, whether you're in college, if a $500 emergency popped up, wherever it is, leaky pipe, car breakdown, traffic ticket, laptop fell off the 22nd floor of the building, you name it, you got to get that $500. How would you get it? And the average person would probably say they had to borrow it. But is your network big enough to where you can borrow $500 from somebody? And you know the old rules about borrowing money. Never lend out money that you really just don't want to see that you can get used to it never coming back. Mm-hmm. That just is what it is. You know, we just don't hold no punches. Danielle, what do you think about that staggering data and when it comes to self-improvement and finances?
Well, so first of all, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
But okay, let's talk about the conceptions that are out. So one, it is true. Like I know for me, what I look for is a provider, right? That is something that has been instilled with me generationally. And it's also something that I actually enjoy. I enjoy the process of being courted. I also enjoy the process of having someone that has my back. And a lot of times the things that I need are not just emotionally, they are financially. Mm-hmm. So I think that once you understand that this is the reality, now let's figure out how we can fix it. So let's talk about how you come up with money. I think a lot of times what people don't focus on, which is what we focus on the average Black girl, is keep that 9 to 5, but let's figure out how to make money on your side hustle, because that's how you can have extra streams of income. I know some people are sometimes like, okay, I don't want to do Uber, but I know people that work at Deloitte that do Uber on the side, not because they don't have money, it's because they understand that it's an easy way to get extra money for that rainy day, or just because they want to have some more money. There's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people that have wrote books or done speaking engagements or do conferences on the side. I think that a lot of times people need to understand after a couple of years, you are no longer that person straight out of college that is just learning and super green. Like, you are an expert. Companies are paying you because you are good at what you do. So if you can do it on the company side, why can't you go ahead and do that same thing outside? So let's say that you are an accountant, right? If you're getting paid, let's just say you're getting paid $80,000 a year to be an accountant. Why can't you go out and outside of that job, get you your own clients, maybe 3 or 4, right? Why can't you do that? Or especially if you're an accountant for a company where you're only doing accountancy with a specific company, let's say you're an accountant for Coca-Cola in Atlanta. Well, why can't you do the same thing outside? There's so many different ways that you can just make that money once you figure out what you're good at. And what you're good at doesn't always necessarily need to be what you are doing in life, right? There's people that make money off of quilting, but don't do quilting in real life. On YouTube, one of the most popular video channels is like a lady that does sock puppets. We don't know what she looks like, We don't know where she's from. People just look at that. Well, once you get enough of those things, that turns into additional revenue. Another thing that I think people need to do, and this is what I'm personally doing now, is I'm reading more. And I actually don't have time to read more, so I'm doing the audiobook route. So 2 books that I'm reading right now are Think and Grow Rich and How to Be a Badass with Money. Those are 2 books that are critically acclaimed. So many people have recommended me them, and now I'm thinking about it. And it's all about, one, not being afraid of money. Money is not the root of all evil. Money can do a lot of great things. And if you have a lot of money, you can do a lot of great things for other people as well. So when you change that mindset from it being negative to positive, and then start putting together plans on how you're going to do this, right? And we all talk about, oh, I can't wait to get hit by somebody that drives a nice car. That's my payday, right? I hear some people say that. But in reality, why don't you just take matters into your own hands and start figuring out how you can grow this? Once you grow it, let's be specific. So let's give like a real life example. Say that you have maybe strategy sessions, right? For your expertise, whatever that is. So anybody can do strategy. It's super easy to do that. So you can say, okay, I'm going to charge $200 for a 90-minute session, or I'm going to charge 4 hours, $400. Well, how much money do you need to make $1,000? Can you do 2 90-minute sessions and then do like 2 $400 sessions, and now you've hit your goal? Do you need to do 1 $400 and 3 90-minute? Now you can figure out what that is. Okay, well, that means I need to do maybe 5 strategy sessions a month to make that extra income. Well, now you have a goal. Go get those sales. So year after year, month after month, you can then increase. So I think that that's a lot of different ways that you can figure it out. The opportunities are endless. I always say, like, here in America, especially being Black in America, our culture is so lit. Many companies want to work with us. There's nothing stopping you from starting a blog and getting sponsored posts. That's additional money from stuff that you were going to do anyway. So I think that the opportunities are endless, but the main thing is find an idea, be specific, be niche, set a goal, and then figure out what your goal looks like, and then break it down per week. Because a lot of people will have a goal and they say, hey, I want to make $5,000 by the end of summer. Well, month 1 goes by and you made any sales. So you're not on the way to make 5,000. Be honest with yourself instead of, oh my gosh, in the summer I hit my goal, I'm so sad. But if you were keeping contract and keeping an idea of what you were doing, you would know that you were way off, and this should not be a surprise to you.
Well, absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that, where it's all about making SMART goals. And there's an acronym, and the SMART is an acronym. And a lot of problems that people have, their goals are unrealistic. I'm all for aiming for the stars.
Right.
I want to be a millionaire so freaking bad as the song goes. But if you want to be a millionaire so freaking bad, how can we talk about you making $1 million if you cannot make $10,000?
You can make 100.
You can't make $100. So we're going from 0 to 1,000 in the first day. It's like you walking inside a class thinking you're going to learn how to do algebra the first day. First we got to start off with factoring. We got to about the quadratic formula. We got to about all that type of stuff before we even get to the big stuff that you say you can do. So make your goals realistic, and it's all about hustling while you work.
So what I'm hearing from you is that a lot of people are dreamers,
right?
But when it comes to execution, there's some issues.
Oh, absolutely.
So figuring out what the execution is, right? I think that's where it ultimately comes down for it. And that's where you can, get with Dominique, and he can break it down, and you guys can come up with the strategy session. At Average Black Girl on YouTube, I have a lot of different tools of where we're talking about marketing, how to really plan your goals. And I even break down how I do my day. But I think that that's something that can work with anything. You want to be a millionaire. Okay, well, what does that mean? How much do you need to make per day to become a millionaire in 1 year? People don't even know that, but they just want to be a millionaire.
Right. They have not done the math. They have not done the formulas to where, with the Ubering, for example, or the Lyft. If you are a single man, there's a lot of single brothers out here, a lot of bachelors, then you got to look at, okay, how can I get more money? And I tell people, downgrade. When I say downgrade, I don't mean just, I know some of y'all say, but Dominique, I love going to the little bistro and I love eating the barbecue ribs and those nice little fancy plates. You better not do that every day. You better do that every week. You got to ask yourself, how can I free up cash? Do you need that $1,800 apartment in a nice out of town where you could probably live in a suburb that's really close to your job for $900? Now you just freed up $900 by cutting your rent in half. I'm all about looking at my budget to where, how can I first free up cash? Where is all this cash going out? And eating out, and I love to eat out now because these allergies, that just, the price is just outlandish. So I love cooking too. So I do how to cook. You may have to start cooking more meals at home. So where you can start saying, okay, if I'm spending $800 a month eating out, and I know somebody spends that much money, I'm not going to put his business out there. I'm like, $800? You know, if I spend about $300 on groceries, I may spend $150 eating out. So cut back on the eating out and say, okay, let me cut back on eating out. Let me cut back on the entertainment. Let me cut back on, do I have to buy a new pair of designer clothes every time I get paid? And I know I talk about treating yourself every time you get paid, but you got to look at, I need to free up cash to where I can have more cash in my hand at any given time. Because your wardrobe is not, it is an investment, but it's not an investment portfolio.
So what I'm hearing from you is just have a budget, understand what's going on, and understand how much you're making, how much are your expenses that are non-negotiable, and then you have your like wiggle room. So some of that can then go into saving, some of that can go into investing into your business, that's what you need, and then some of that can go into playtime and whatever you're looking for that you need. But if you don't know how much you're bringing in, and you don't know your budget, and you're just swiping really happily, then there's kind of no way to get ahead. And I know people that are on like Instagram and have all these followers, and they don't even know how much they're making. They don't know if they're building business. They just know they get money.
They hustle. That's the whole thing.
That's it.
I mean, and it's okay to hustle, but you realize after a while you got to stop hustling for the rent money. It's one thing to hustle. Hey, I need a couple of dollars to pay for something.
Yeah.
We all go through that. But when you're hustling as a way of life, that's not sustainable. If you're saying you want to, a lot of guys say, hey, I want a wife and kids, I want to be able to do certain things, by and large, see, it's going to be kind of hard to talk about. The JS will hear the stuff we talk about when the women are not here.
Okay, yeah.
So she's going to really she's taking her little note, she got a little antenna up in her head on don't be fooled. I tell guys all the time, women are going to, one thing I hear a lot of these women describe how fierce, how strong, how independent, how I got mine, all that. Here's a secret. And I had lots of staunch feminists tell me this off the record. If I met the right man that had his shit together, I would fall back. There would be no argument. I was just like, yes, sir, whatever. Okay, cool. That's how you want it. Okay, got it. Because it's a man with a plan. So if you're saying that you're ready to go after women want to see that you're stable and that you're sustainable.
Right.
And that goes into the whole dating potential stuff that we see a lot. And we'll kind of tackle on that just a little bit too when it comes to self-improvement. That would get said with now, a lot of these topics will kind of coalesce. So potential. A lot of guys say, hey, I'm trying to build my radio career. Hey, I'm trying to get my restaurant, my food truck off the ground, or I'm trying to be do some more stuff with my auto mechanic work. I'm trying to build computers, or I'm trying to do my janitorial company. Everybody, a lot of y'all got good ideas you want to get off the ground and say, hey, you want to go into the self-employment thing, or in the case of our career brothers, you may say, hey, I'm trying to really get a raise at my job. I'm trying to work in the Miami office. I'm trying to get out of Chicago. I'm trying to get out of Atlanta. But what is your plan? Part of self-improvement is you've got to evaluate your skill set. Are my skills relevant to the jobs I want? When was the last time I went for training? When was the last time I went for development? If you got a job that pays for that, milk it. I would go to anything my job pays for. Get certified while you're there. Use their time, use their resources to get it done. And guess what? Once you're ready to go on your own or go somewhere else, now that resume is much more solid now that you can get that money that you're worth and you can earn. And update your resume once a year. You should not be telling me your resume has been updated in 5 years. What new skills that are relevant to today's standards need to go on that resume? And when it comes to your potential, you got to be able, as we talk about the best candidate guy situation, that was in Etso Nicole. Didn't know that was Nicole Beatrice. I just talked talk to Danielle about it. It just shows you how much of a square I am. But that's what that girl was doing. Anywho, her husband at the time was a guy that she met at a bar. They started having a conversation. And he called her out one thing led to another. So the question that many women ask, and Danielle probably vouched for this, what do you do for a living? What are your plans for your career? Where are you going with your life? Especially you over 30. That's the question. That's the number one question we're going to ask you. He said pretty much, I want to be a football coach for a Division I, Division II college. And he broke down what he was doing. He said, right now I'm living in my car. I have my son that's still with my baby mama. I'm working at night, hustling, whatever he was doing. I'm taking these classes in this program where I can get placed in the college. And I'm looking like I will be coaching within 2-3 years. She admitted herself. Now, part of me was ready to say, well, I'm good. That's not what I'm looking for right now. But when she saw that he had a plan that he was going to go there with or without her, that made her say, well, so tell me more about this plan. What's your backup plan if it doesn't work? What's your plan to feed the kids? And he had every question answered. That's why I push all the time, because you got to have every question answered. People don't want to see that you walk around here screaming at olive oil when the stuff hit the fan. Because the woman will look at you like, hell. So that's why I push this stuff. Not only just for women, just for yourself. Don't you want more in your life? Don't you want to be able to say, I want to do certain things? Aren't you tired of window shopping in your life? That's why now we have to start taking the steps. And these are baby steps. I'm not telling you to spend thousands of dollars or millions of dollars. These are steps that you do, like have a plan. Black men, what is your plan for the next 5 years for your life?
Yeah. I think that people just having a plan and having a timely plan, right? This is what I want to do by month 1, month 2, month 3, even year 1, year 2, year 3. This is what I want to do. That is one part, right? The second part is it correlates within dating and even the potential, right? One potential is that I am doing this program. After the program, I'm going to be placed. This is what I want to do. Another potential is, oh my gosh, I'm not taking any classes. I'm not calling anybody, but I just really want to do it. And this has been my dream. Well, one person is actually making the moves and they're actually already in it, right? They haven't hit their goal yet, but they're in the process. The process has started. And that's the main difference between one person potential that's most likely going to not work and one person that's going to work. So, I mean, we all have potential. Like my potential right now is to be an international marketing strategist and to go all over the world speaking and teaching people how to create and build more Black millionaires through web design, marketing strategies, and securing partnerships. Am I there yet? No, but I'm going to Ghana on Thursday, and that's a conference that I'm speaking at, and this was paid for and sponsored by the conference. So with that being said, am I there yet? No. Have I reached millions? No, but I have reached a couple thousand. So I'm on my way. I'm not just sitting here like, oh my gosh, I really want to do this, but I haven't put in any work. I haven't decided anything. I haven't even started. And that's the difference between one person that's on their way and is making progress and one person that isn't. You know, one thing people always say is, oh my gosh, we have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. Yeah, we don't. Beyonce has a team. So let's say Beyonce has a team of 28. So Beyonce has 28 times 24. You just have 1 times 24.
I don't know if you broke that down. I've seen the memes on Facebook that says, we all have the same 24 hours as Donald Trump.
Lies.
It's lies. Like Donald Trump has a cabinet staff.
People are like, does Rihanna ever sleep? Rihanna sleeps probably very well. She has a team. She said, this is my idea. This is my vision. I will see you in a week. Exactly. Come up with some concepts.
She had y'all in there working on a Saturday. So,
while she's over here
I'm gonna be
living her life.
Living the life, but I need this done.
But she's paying for it.
I'm paying you.
Again, what can money do? That's what money can do for you, okay?
Money is a tool that we have to stop being scared of, which goes like we talked about before. Self-improvement means really working on your wealth because you're gonna need money to make things happen.
Yes.
Whether you want to buy a house, whether you want to buy a car, whether you want to invest in the business, whether you want to take training, to where it's all about how do you use money. I'm in a conference room right there in my office, but There's like 7 chairs in here. I can give all 7 people $100. And I would say, what would you do with this $100? This is $100. Here you go. What would you do with it? And that would tell me the mindset of that person. Now, some people say, well, I can find about the groceries I want. I can pay a bill. You know what? This goes towards something for my business. To where, oh, I want to go buy me this new shoes I want. To where you can figure out where everybody's at in their life based off what they say they want to do with that money. They just got this. We all have that dollar amount in our head of I need this or I need that. And you have to take a chance on yourself. Because when I tell people to take a chance on yourself, that is the biggest gamble that I love doing all the time. I tell guys all the time, if you want to get a new career, first you have to ask yourself, what career do you want? Have you researched that career? What trainings, what skills, what background you need to have? Then have you researched, if you don't have the background, have you researched what comes with hiring entry-level people? Or you want to relocate for this career? Or you want to go places? Right now, we're on social media. The way I first went to Chicago in 2007 was I used my Facebook account, reach out to everybody that had a Chicago address on there, say, hey, I'm coming to Chicago. We're thinking about doing our radio show up there. I want to see the city. Had a tour of 3 guys, Christopher Peoples, Desmond Collins, the young lady, she has since passed. Of course, she was sick, but they was my tour guys. And we went up there. We had a great time. That's just people. This is 2007 Facebook, folks. This ain't 2018 Facebook. So imagine what I can do now compared to what we was doing then. It was just all college co-eds and college graduates. So that's a tool at your disposal. Stop talking shit in all these groups. Stop, you have your little group you want to kick back and chill, but use this as a tool. You now, thanks to this computer, thanks to the YouTube website, you are now connected to more tools that you ever wanted to do before. Another thing, too, self-improvement, you got to have confidence in yourself. And confidence means you got to dress like you command something. Yeah. I get asked, the day I get accused of all the time. The day you can see how I'm dressed right now. Anytime, I'm always like, people can start telling me like I'm a father, like, kids. I'm like, me, you look like one of them dads and don't take no shit or whatnot, and that you're a bit more. I don't want them like you're a tough disc player, but your kids got you in the palm of their little hands. Like, yeah, dad will cuss us out, but dad will still do it at the end of the day. Probably wouldn't be the father like that. Probably the people who talk like that. But I say that as you have to, it's not respectability politics, but you have to command the respect with how you dress, how you have your attire, and certain things. And I tell a lot of my mentees, you should never leave the house without taking a bath. And it goes, I should not have to say that, but you'll be amazed. And this is why I get on these ladies about it. Ladies, stop telling your 15-year-old son he ain't got to take no bath. Make him get in the damn tub. You make your baby girl get in the tub. Why you don't let him get out there? Then he's gonna do dumb crap. Then the women of his generation will say, these guys today. So I told people it should never be a time to where you're just getting up and you're coming here and you smell like you've been on a construction site all day. That's unacceptable. Iron your clothes. Shouldn't go out saying it again, but I tell people a simple iron, like iron this shirt out, iron my shorts out, that compared to how this will look wrinkled, it looks like that I'm about something because you never know who you're going to meet. I'm not saying you got to walk around with a bow tie on or a top hat on and all that. That's your style, and that's your style. You do you. But I'm a writer. I'm sitting here writing business plans, articles, making podcasts, videos all day. So I'm gonna come to my office comfortable. You're gonna see me in a pair of sandals, a pair of shorts, with the button up. But I always have my business cards here. I have business cards in my wallet. So when I'm out, if I see an opportunity, I'm gonna hand that card out. You gotta be willing to go for it. Just like you wanna see that pretty woman when you're at Chick-fil-A or you're at the veggie bar or wherever you're at, what you gonna do? Take a shot. Same thing you gotta do with your business and your career. Take a shot. You have to be willing to talk and do whatever it takes, even if you may have to, I ain't got no shirt and towel. True story. I had two of my former radio personalities. It was my off days, time still hustle while you work while I was building that radio station and online announced the fund at exceptionalradio.com. I had on my Jordan sandals. I had on a polo, striped polo shirt. And I had on some dark blue jean shorts. I was out handling personal business. I think I was grocery shopping or wherever I was at across town. Those that know Atlanta, I was in the west side over near Fulton Industrial Douglasville, These guys were over here at now the city of Stonecrest at Stonecrest Mall trying to get a deal going. They got nervous. Mind you, I had 20 minutes to get from the west side to Stonecrest. Luckily, it was right before rush hour. So I was hauling ass on the interstate. I didn't have time to go home and change clothes. So I walked in that meeting, very underdressed. I had a little laptop bag, walked in the mall, asked the little security guard, excuse me, sir, where's the mall management office? He thought something had happened to me. Everything okay and all that? I said, yeah, I don't look like it is, but I'm here for a meeting that I got called into. And he walked me to the office, and I walked in there, and everybody was dressed up, and little me sitting there with sandals on, polo shirt. But you know what? You know what I could have did? I could have allowed that moment to like, oh my God, everybody's all dressed up in here. And there's a group picture. Here I am, but said like a sore thumb. But I walked in that meeting like I ran that meeting. Because my guys needed help. Because they were in there sucking at that meeting. I walked in there and killed it in that meeting. I crushed it. Because I laughed and joked with the crowd in there. I said, I guess I didn't get the memo to wear a shirt and tie today, honey. They've got to kind of break the ice a little bit. I said I was handling family business today and got called to this meeting, so please forgive the dress. And the guy's like, damn, your sandals look cool. Where you get them from? So I sold a pair of sandals. They're not mine. So hey, go to Foot Locker in your ball, get a pair. Say all that where my confidence took over. Yeah, I was nervous. I always felt a little in my feelings internally a little bit, but I could not let them see me sweat because I wanted to get this contract. So I had to go there, talk to them, ran that meeting, got up, walked around the room, pointed out different things, and did my whole spiel. And people say, wow, we like this. Send us proposals, let's talk some dollars, and let's go and get the contract signed, deal sealed. And I told my guys out in that meeting, you always have to be prepared. I didn't have time to go home and change my clothes. I didn't have time. Like sometimes I may keep clothes in the car, so at the time, sometimes I didn't. That was the time I didn't have it, but I had to go when duty calls. When duty calls, are you going to deliver despite the circumstance, or are you going to sit there and miss the opportunity? That's self-improvement. You have to be willing to do what it takes for your career, for your business, and for my married people, for my parents out there, for your spouse, and for your children. You got to go out here and make it happen. What do you think about that, Danielle?
Yeah, so I just want to point out for everyone that is looking for maybe a new career or just a fresh start, there is the National Black MBA Conference that is happening in Detroit. It's going to be September 23rd through the 25th. That is something that you definitely want to go to. For me, I was in your shoes at one point. I started with a marketing firm that I just didn't like, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I went to the National Black MBA right out of college, so I didn't have my MBA or anything like that, just right out of undergrad. And I was able to get a job, not only with Coca-Cola, but with Walmart Corporate. So two very great companies. Either one would have been a great start in life. And, you know, they're there to hire Black people. So please, if you're looking, go. Even if you can't attend, get with that organization. They have local chapters throughout the United States, and they have an online portal where you can upload your resume and start talking to companies directly. So that's one thing that I just want to give for like some takeaways. And another takeaway for anybody that's looking for some additional resources, just like I really want to know where to start. If you go to averageblackgirl.com, we have a tab called Resources for Bloggers, and that is where you can get any and everything. One more app that I know I really use is Acorn. I use that one. I use Digit. Those are just some of the ones that help me. So Digit rounds up your to the nearest dollar and then invest the change into stock market. So much things that you can do as far as those tips. So I use that. And then to know, like, really, you want to know your income and your expenses and things like that, there is QuickBooks, there are free versions, but you really want to know what do your books look like, because that is going to help you. And then that also helps you to figure out, okay, this brand is not making me money. I think that's one of the key things that people have. Like, you have an idea and people are like, don't ever give up, blah, blah, blah. No, if it's not giving you what you need, give up, rebrand, restructure, and survey your audience. That's another thing. Because because you think it's a great idea doesn't mean that your audience is going to think it's a great idea. So like for me, I have a Black business directory, right? I made it back in 2016. So way before all this, like everybody has one now. So I made it. I thought that was going to be my jam. Then other people kept bringing it up. And I have some ads on that site. And so I generate some revenue through that. But other than that, that's it. Because my target doesn't always care about Black businesses. They care when there's like something happening in the news, and that just compels them to do something. Well, I need my clients to want to work with me regardless of the climate that's happening, the political climate. So that stays. I didn't get rid of it. I just kind of let it sit. Average Black girl, that was bringing me money. People were telling me they liked it, and I kept on with it. But even Average Black girl, when I first started, I thought I was just going to be on YouTube and be like a YouTube success and like go to different Black business restaurants, give reviews, and talk a little about marketing. But I started my audience, and they were like, we want more marketing. We want your time, we want your services, you want all these things. And so I survey them all the time. Hey, I'm thinking about starting this. Are you even interested in this? Would you buy it? Would you recommend it to someone? Like, your audience doesn't have to be your quote unquote target that's actually going to purchase. It can be someone that's saying, if you do this, I will tell my friends about it so that they can service with you. So it all depends, but that is the main issue that I have with people. People are like, I've been working on this thing for 5 years and it made me no money. Well, you may need to just move around. It may just be something that's done. And so for me, my businesses pay for themselves now. I no longer take my money and invest it into it. If the website makes money this month, then the website gets more advertising bucks and things like that, versus me just taking money from elsewhere and investing. And so that helps me to also see how good this business is doing, if it's growing on its own and if it's growing organically, or I'm just like feeding a black hole.
And that's the other thing you have to think about with your life as well. You don't want to just be feeding a black hole. If you're feeling like you are stuck, you feel like you're at the wit's end, sometimes you have to be willing just to walk away.
Yep.
And me, it was easy to walk away from a job like they get money just in life. I just didn't show up the next day. There's jobs where I never got my last check because I'm just like, you know what, fuck this. Because it's just, I felt that drain being there. And I knew I did not want to be one of them drones to where I just see the life sucked out of people because they're doing things they don't want to do. And it's prolonged. I'm like, I'm single, no kids. Why am I stuck here? And that's the thing I tell single, childless Black men. You are in the golden position to really make some things happen. You're not stuck. You're not obligated. All day you got is just yourself. So this is the time now that you get to work on you. Be selfish. Pull yourself off the grid. Huddle up in your corner. Invest some things. Even if you don't have the money to invest. I know a lot of people start saying, oh, but Dominique, I don't have money. Go to eventbrite.com. That's eventbrite.com. You can type in different dates and you will find free stuff on there. Workshops, all classes, training, events, networking. Where if it's career networking, if you're in the public administration, there's a public administration professionals group in your city. If you
also utilize LinkedIn. Yes. People do not utilize that platform like I feel like they need to. I personally love LinkedIn. That's where I get a lot of my contacts and things like that. But think about, we're in the DM dive, like, kind of culture. Oh, yeah. So you can DM dive into the company that you want to work with. Like, how cool is that? But how game-changing is that if you understand that this is what I want to do? So for me, I like to do LinkedIn in 3 simple steps. First thing, your profile needs to be on point. You need to know who you are, what's going on, did you fill out your bio? So come up with your 3. I tell people that they need to come up with 3 things that they're going to be known for. Yes, humans are multifaceted. Yes, you can have 11 businesses. However, it is going to be hard for me to refer you if you are everything, right? if you are a baker, a hairstylist, a makeup artist, and you tap dance, right? So if someone's asking for a baker, am I going to think about you, or am I going to think about just the bake shop?
Right.
So think about 3 things that you're going to be great at so that people can know that this is what your expertise is. So put that up there. Make sure your profile is together. You get rid of that blue LinkedIn background. Put up a cover border picture of something that either represents you or your personality. And then let's start with the content. Are you writing articles that show that you're an expert in your industry? Are you sharing posts about you doing stuff in your industry that shows, again, that you're an expert? Do you have recommendations from previous coworkers or people that you worked with to show that, hey, you are nice, you are responsive to emails, you are a pleasure to work with, you have great customer service, like all those things you need regardless of what industry you're in. And lastly, are you connecting with the people that you need to connect with? Now, what does that mean? That means, are you connecting with, if you are in marketing, other marketers? Are you connecting with the companies? Are you connecting with people that will need your services? I love working with moms. I love working with lawyers. I love working with doctor practices. Those are my favorite places to work with. So you can figure out who these people are by their job title and just connect with them. So for me, that's how I would kind of do LinkedIn. And then for anybody that's listening, there is a LinkedIn automation tool that I use called LinkedIn Helper that allows me to invite people while I'm asleep. So I always use that. And if you are specific enough, you would connect with someone that is in the position that you want to be with, or in your potential manager, apply for that company, and then reach out to them. So connect with them on LinkedIn first, apply to the company, and then DM them like, hey, just apply for this company. I would love to hear a little bit more about it. Do you have, 30 minutes to chat about this? Like, boom, you are being specific about what you want. You are being overly ambitious with your job. And think about it. You are now setting yourself out from everybody else, because who's all going to do that? Most people won't. Most people won't even think about DMing their potential boss and trying to get more information and connect. So you are separating yourself from everybody, and that's what it's about. When you separate yourself from everybody, you're remembered, and people like that.
Yeah, we can DM women. We can DM.
You can DM companies.
DM companies, potential people you want to do business with, and there's an art to doing that as well, to where you need to customize it.
Yes.
To where, like, if let's say you met somebody at a networking event, whether it's career or business, it goes the same way. One thing I learned from a couple of experts in this is read about that person and tie something that people love themselves. That's just
true.
They love. So if somebody wrote an article, let's say it's a recent article they wrote. You've had to Google them, find this article. Will you email them and say, hey, Danielle, it's a pleasure meeting you at the Atlanta ABA event. I was there, and I didn't realize you wrote this great article with the link there, and I enjoyed the article. But don't lay it over thick. Sound natural, sound authentic. To where now you got her attention because you done read her article. So, he done read my article. It's not just
that.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden
They care.
They care. It's like, oh, thank you, and all that. Like, did you like it? And this and the third, and that breaks the ice.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I have interns that came in here to my office that have broken the ice with me. If these college students are getting the game, folks, come on, this is your competition. I had them come in here like, oh yeah, so I remember using the Central Radio Network, and I know you used to host an independent music show, and I remember the show. One of them told us, I remember the show you did about country music. I love the tracks, and she named 4 artists I played on, which I knew she listened to the show, but the artists appeared into the show. That made me good. I gave her an internship on the spot because she came in here aggressive. She knew what she wanted. She shot her shot, and she was not taking no for an answer. She was like, yeah, and she just researched it all together. Then women had a little charm to add to it too. Hey, oh yeah, you're much more handsome in person.
Oh my goodness!
I'm like, what you thought of me? You ugly or something? She's like, well, I told the truth, would you slap me? I said, yes. I won't ask the question. You got to kind of play around with a little bit, treat that little environment, but know how to do it. Have some personality. Don't walk around here doing a little like this. No, you got to have some personality. Like she said, DM these people. Use your LinkedIn. That's a free tool. And she didn't say anything about paying for that account because you can pay for LinkedIn and do certain things. She just mentioned what you can do with a simple thing. And even if you can't get a professional headshot or a body shot, you know what people do? Your little secret, fellas. Don't tell photographers I told you they'll get bad. You get you a nice clean wall. You get you somebody, you got you a good camera phone. That can work for the time being. But that can hold you over. If you're trying to look a certain way for your jobs, certain way for your image, you also will have to get a stylist, get professional shots of. But a lot of times people just want to see that nice headshot.
Yeah.
And they don't need to like your mug shot, your driver's license picture, but a nice little shot and say, oh, okay, make sure you're shaved. And, I do baby face. Some people do the beard. I'm not into the little Jesus beards and stuff that some guys do. Have your hair looking on point to where you want people to know that it's a current shot. If you was bald, but now you got an afro, you'll do headshot, fellas. If you now have an afro, but now you got a mohawk that's all pointed over here, you want your headshot when people see you, it matches. That's what we call a brand match. Match your brand. Whatever brand that you're creating online, with your business, your career, do that offline as well. And so, that's the biggest thing that tell me. It's all about being consistent. And if you're looking for a job, it's a job in itself. You should be after you get off work, you should be filling off resumes all day, every day, and keep doing it. If you're looking for business, what I used to do? I used to do Craigslist and just put in for different gigs when money was slow. Writing gigs away. It was like, look, $50 here, $100 there, but why you do okay to add it up? Sometimes Craigslist, you can do a big pool. Sometimes just be like, you send off 100 things, no responses. It's just like the luck of the draw. I have another guy, what he does, he picks up a phone book in business. He actually does old-fashioned way. He just goes to the phone book and start calling people. That's how he hustles. That's how he gets money for his business. So you have to really have that tenacity for what you want. That's why I hope you got that pad, because you have to ask yourself your goals, or you have a career or a business. And if you have a job, talk to your boss and say, hey, can I have an evaluation? If you don't get evaluations, ask your boss to evaluate you. Ask your boss to criticize you. You not criticize you. Ask your boss to give you a critique of your stuff, because you need to know how are you doing and what is perceived. Like, you think you're doing the best job in the world, but sometimes you say, no, Dominique a little average. I mean, I wouldn't consider him a star employee, but I mean, he shows up. I mean, he's body there. You don't want that perception. You want them to be able to give you that glowing recommendation to where their bosses on LinkedIn, get them to write that on their LinkedIn as well. Because you want to have people to vouch for your work. You want to have people to know what you do. And the other thing too, be the change that you want to be in your neighborhoods. It's so easy to type all online and hashtag and all this type of stuff, but you have to lead the changes and the charges that you want to see. I'm not saying you go be an activist or go fight the power, but cut some checks with your favorite causes. Get involved. Show up at some of these meetings. Get involved and take some initiatives on certain things to where you're now known for some things, because we want to really get to the point where people can see it's all about that personal brand. So where they think of you, what can they put their finger on with you? And that's Danielle said. When you got 50, 11 things going on, it all has to go in line. And I wish I had a little interactive board behind us. Maybe that's one day in the future we get that. Is if you're known for blogging, marketing, and image consulting, then there's many subcategories you can do in those categories, to where now it's everything's going back to you, the brand, or the company, the brand, to where it makes sense. To where you want to, when you built that company or built your brand, you want things to make sense. You don't want tap dancing, cakes, and hairstyling. You can't build with that. That's just three different things that make no sense. So it has to have an overlap where it blends in at, to where when people would say, okay, well, I said, marketing, blogging, image, they all kind of go hand in hand. That's content writing, that's research, that's dealing with different demographics, to where people can feel comfortable approaching you about something. So Ask 5 people on your Facebook or your LinkedIn, what can they know you for? What can they say about you? Tell them to be completely honest. Then, if it's not in line with what you think you are, then that's when you got to make some adjustments and some corrections. So self-improvement is the key that as you grow and evolve, you're going to see some differences in how you conduct yourself. If we can put a camera on you 10 years ago and a camera on you today, will we see the same person? We see a person who is now 10 years later, you're a much more refined, more evolved person, or we see a person who's downgraded. So that's what you always want to keep going up, 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 and up. So as you continue to build yourself. So we got a lot of tips out here. Though self-improvement is a broad, general category that I put this out here because however you watch it, I want you to know that you got some empowerment from this. And I would encourage you to go to averageblackgirl.com and to take Danielle's LinkedIn workshop.
Yes.
You know, she has done several videos about the topic. I think that's a great thing that you need to get into. She's giving you some career advice. If you want some advice, I definitely get with her. And there's nothing wrong with having a woman as your consultant or as your advisor. You know, she's not free. You know, you need to pay her. You know, she's got to eat like the rest of us. And, you know, when you go over there and find something that you want and start investing in yourself. Yeah. It's the best investment that you can make. You have any closing points, Danielle?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think that if anything, what we discussed was make a plan, have some goals that are timely. If you have questions, please ask for help, ask for people that are experts, and understand that at one point it's going to be time to then find someone. So either you are outsourcing or you are reaching to that expert so that you don't have to take as much time and work as hard. Like for me, I have a podcast, and could I do it on my own? Sure. But I don't want to. So I don't want to spend any more time. I have a producer. I just go record. She edits. I approve. That's where I want to be. I'm not doing anything for me. I'm not doing anything from the ground up because time is money, and doing things like this is what I'd rather do with my time. I'd rather do interviews. I'd rather work on going live on my own platform and reaching more people, because ultimately that is the goal, right? The more people know you, the more people you are exposed to you and have the chance to buy from you or to use your stuff. Like he said, if you go to any of my online courses, we have things from how to do a resume, how to work on a brag book, to how to work on LinkedIn, and then how to build a business as well. We have tools and tips for Facebook, for LinkedIn, for web design, all of the above. So I would love to have you guys and work with some of you guys one-on-one. My courses are for everyone. I have a membership course that I'm actually promoting right now, and that is $100 a month for everyone, and it comes with one strategy session per month, which is a $200 value, and access to all the courses, which all the courses combined are over $500. So that is one thing that I'm pushing. And come on over to Average Black Girl on YouTube. I would love to have you be a part of the Above Average Crew family.
There you go, folks. You know, that right there is why we put that information out there, because I'm bringing a lot of answers in my circle to talk to you about things. And we're just in here having a casual conversation about different stuff. So, I mean, it's just chatting, you know, very conversational, because that way, you know, when you listen to this at your self-appointed time, whether you're exercising on the bus, listening to it in your car, you have a lot of advice that you can think about. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to say that this publication, this media outlet has challenged you to do better. And, you know, to continue to go towards greatness, because we're trying to create new legends here. We're trying to make sure that our children's children will be taken care of. Even if you don't have children yet, you got to plan for them now. So that way you can do what you want to do. So I am Dominique Huff of Dominique Huff Enterprises, which is the parent company to Dominique Magazine. You can visit us at DominiqueMag.com. That's DominiqueMag.com. We're going to have new content New content comes out once a week. Our goal is to drop content on Thursdays. So definitely check us out. We'll definitely do at least about 8 to 10 articles a week, interviews, you know, news stories, commentary, you name it, we put it out there. If you want to talk to me directly, that's editor@DominiqueMag.com. That's editor, editor, at DOMINIQUEMAG.com. And then you can talk to Miss Danielle Mitchell at averageblackgirl.com.
Yes, and Danielle at averageblackgirl.com.
And you can reach out directly at her email, because we always believe around here we give contact information. No form letters, no. Find us on Twitter. You can get what it is what you see. It is Self-Improvement Month, so what is your plan for self-improvement? We just gave you a glimpse of it. We'll bring on some other people. We'll talk about fitness. It will be a whole show in itself. We'll talk about finance, which will be a whole show in itself. Fear, a whole show in itself. So this is some of the stuff that you want to see. And also we'll put this on our Facebook channel as well. So thank you for listening. Till next time, we'll be back.